everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Star Trek Online. This is the first episode of a continuing ongoing series in which we will start from the beginning of Star Trek Online, which is one of my favourite games to play, and we will then continue on the character's journey all the way through to the levels. As you can see at the minute we're at the main menu sort of thing, so we've sort of gone through the start pressing A and pressing engage, which you see at the start, and then obviously carrying on through to this menu, which is where you see the characters. As you can see, I have 4 characters at the minute. I stick to Federation, Klingon, Romulan and Jem'Hadar, which are the 4 sort of main factions that don't repeat themselves, pretty much, because if you Starfleet has, the Federation has 3 variants. You can play as the 24th century, which is the century that you play in. You can play as an original series or Discovery. And for this, I'll show you the screen. So this is where you can choose your faction, which is what you play as throughout the days. Throughout the rest of the game, this is something you can't change. It has to be done here. So I've already sort of made a decision, because playing the original series era, which I have done, doesn't change a lot. It's just you just get different transporters, and the Discovery one, you get the change of the warp effect to sort of match the show, and also it changes the transporters. Whereas everything else you get major changes like race and things like that. So what we'll do is we're going to choose Discovery Starfleet. So both Discovery Starfleet and original series Starfleet have a time travel element to them. I think we are going to go for playing as a Vulcan. Again, I usually go for... What's helpful here is you get 3 different career options. You can play as engineering, science or tactical. I have always played tactical. I maintain it's a very good... If you're beginning the game, it's very good. It's a good starting point, because science and engineering, they get more technical. Tactical, you're very obvious and to the point. So for me, I think although science or tactical would be a good option for Vulcans, obviously Spock, very famous science officer, and Tuvok, who was the tactical officer on Voyager, I'm gonna go on the tactical side, because it's the side I know more about at later levels, and it's just generally easier to play that option. I'm reasonably happy with how he's turned out, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm going to make any major changes. I mean, you have so many options on here to change whatever you want about him, about your character. Obviously, if you play as a human or an alien, you can really chop and change and really create something unique, which is what I did the first time round. I sort of wanted to create something unique and cool. Okay, so yeah, that looks like everything is sort of set as how I would want it, so I'm gonna click on. As I don't know any Vulcan names, track, yeah. Tap. Toulette. Tiaret. Tiaret? You want something not as complicated, really. Sulek. Nope, we're not going for that. Tialit? No. Valil? Valot? Tialok? Teething? No. Sherlock? Sherlock? To set some up. To pra? Ah, quite like that. Right, that's the name sorted, eventually. And the ship name. So, also changes all the bits here. So again, I'm going to make the decision here to play the tutorial, just because it's easier on...
I still can't believe how much things have changed. We hadn't heard from the Klingons for years. And now we have. Now,
so obviously this is the connection to the TV show with the Battle of the Binary Stars, which is what we're seeing here.
That was probably the last thing on my mind when I got here. It was the same for you, right? We came to Starfleet Academy to become explorers. Not all of us are fighters. Some of us are engineers, healers, scientists. We've been working hard on the ground and in space. We learned how things worked on a starship. And we learned how to work as a team. We've been getting ready to boldly go where no one has gone before. And today's your big day. Today you graduate and begin your career as a Starfleet officer. It's gonna be amazing.
So obviously that was Sylvia Tilly, who we all know from the Discovery TV show. So something I'm going to just quickly do before we carry on. Just to help you hear me, I'm going to do that. So that gets rid of the music, so hopefully you can now hear me very clearly.
Hey, there you are! Are you excited? I am very excited. Pretty soon we'll be reporting for duty on the cadet training cruise. Are you kidding? I set up a triple-layer alarm sequence to notify me when the postings went up. I think I knew before some of Captain Schaefer's staff. 2 words. Chief Engineer. Right? I'm still not sure if this isn't one of Finnegan's pranks. He's done stuff like this, you know. Ugh, poor Jim Kirk. Oh, before I forget, Lifeson is looking for you. Actually, I think I see him over there. You should probably find out what he wants. Here's Lifeson, one of the best tactical cadets in your class. Oh, no, after Evelyn. And yourself, of course.
There you are. I wanted to thank you for helping me pass that final and for all the other times you've helped me. Well, Lieutenant
Oh, there's Ian. Let's...
So yeah, some of this is sort of just, oh, thank
Come
you
on,
for helping
this way.
me with whatever assignment I had, and etc, etc, etc.
Cadets Quan and Peart, with a combined IQ of 231, which, I've heard, is almost up to Tomov's rating. That's the rumor, anyway.
Oh, hey, I've been looking for you. Yes, I took the linguistics final again, and I aced it. You and me both. It wouldn't have happened if I didn't follow your advice. You saw that I wasn't at my best that day, told me to give it another shot. So, I did. That perfect score really made a difference. Now I'm qualified to serve as both a science officer and a communications officer. Thanks. Always good to have options, right? Kiro took your advice too. I think it worked out for him since he's slightly less scowly than usual. Let me know if I'm right, okay?
I think I see Kiro over there. Come on.
Though it has been a long time since I've played a Star Trek Academy scenario.
And here we have the smartest
game.
person in your class, or so I've heard. It's not entirely fair. Kiro is a super genius, and he's built like a brick shit. Yep, yes.
Cadet, it is agreeable to be in your presence. Your advice regarding Federation history was advantageous. It allowed
don't
me to
recognize
pass the
his
final
species.
test with satisfactory marks. I am pleased.
Probably one of those, the Star Trek Online people created.
In the interest of camaraderie, I now inform you that Captain Schaefer is still selecting the senior staff for the upcoming training cruise. There is a 78.4% chance that you will be selected for a position, based on my current statistical models. Lieutenant Tassil may have more conclusive data on the matter.
Your mini-map shows you where your objectives are. An arrow will appear on the mini-map if you are far away from your objective.
I'll wait out here.
So
Distill
that
should be inside.
you'll notice that there'll be something very similar that will happen along the lines of, oh, suddenly you're promoted to the commanding officer on the training cruise, and then all of a sudden something will happen and you'll automatically become acting captain and earn a field promotion.
Good afternoon, Cadet. How may I be of assistance?
It's one of those things.
It is. I will access your assignment data now. One moment. Fascinating. Your assignment is not listed. Inquiries on the matter have been directed to Captain Schaefer himself. That remains to be seen. I suggest you report to Captain Schaefer and ask him personally. He is in the office behind me.
Objects you can interact with have a glow around them. Press A to interact with the doorbell to notify Captain Schaefer of your presence.
Good to see you, Cadet. Today's the big day. Congratulations. Judging by that look on your face, I trust this visit concerns your assignment on the training cruise. Well, you can relax. I'm happy to report that you won't be my new bilge officer. Far from it.
Bilge officer. I'm not even sure they actually have those on starships.
There is a matter I'd like to address, however. Your academic record is impressive, but I don't see your results for the advanced phaser training program. Care to shed some light on that for me? The Federation is at war with the Klingon Empire, Cadet. I shouldn't need to remind you that Klingons enjoy close combat with their enemies. That in mind, I want everyone on my senior staff to complete that program. No exceptions. I did indeed. There's a place for a cadet like you on my bridge, once you finish that phaser course. My chief engineer and tactical officer have programmed a training simulator for you.
Surprise, surprise.
I look forward to seeing your results.
Go on the bridge, of course.
Cadets Tilly and Surveyor, respectively. They've been working on the simulation for me for some time now. Interesting pair, those two. Some of the staff question bringing Tilly along on the cruise as a junior, but her professors assure me that she's up to the task. Indeed, she'll meet you out in the quad. Talk to her to start the training, and I'll see you when you're finished. That's all for now, Cadet. Dismissed.
Yeah, so surprise, surprise, just take the training simulation and automatically you're on the bridge. Just like that, really.
I still can't believe I got the chief engineer spot. Yes,
So
it's
this
just
is
for the
set
cadet training cruise,
just
but still,
during the
how many
Klingon
juniors
War,
get to go on the cruise, let
while
alone as a
Michael
department
Burnham
head?
is
This is exciting.
in prison
Okay.
for the binary
Deep breath.
stars.
I'm good.
So it's set in between two episodes
Enough
of
about
Discovery.
Me, where did you end up?
Well, that we don't know about, because a certain amount of time passes between those two episodes.
Yeah, I was wondering why.
And
you
you'll
wanted
see
us
what
to
I
set
mean
up
in a minute.
program For you. Now I know. Hey, I should warn you, it can get pretty lively with the Klingons and aggression, and I should probably
And to
stop
be clear,
telling
that's
you about
season
the
1.
program now. Oh no, don't worry, you'll do fine. There's no doubt in my mind. Come on, I'll take you there. Savea's waiting over at the simulator. You know how cranky she gets when people are late. Finnegan actually graduated. I guess the Irish are lucky after all. No one was assigned to a Constitution class. Not even you. That's crazy. How many times did you
Yes,
run the
so-
Kobayashi Maru? Kirk's up to 2 now.
So in this timeline, the
To
Discovery
sprint,
timeline,
press and
the
hold the left stick
Constitution
while moving.
class is considered the best of them. So it's one of those, it's the best ship, it's the most advanced. All that jazz is what they want to see, basically. Looks like I might have skipped a few bits here and there. Yes, so that's the memorial there. Obviously this is San Francisco where Starfleet Academy is, and I have to admit that it is pretty impressive to see some, like, all the background stuff that happens.
We better hurry or
So
we'll
too,
lose our
Cap?
spot. Ooh, I hate running. Uh-oh. There's Ev. And she's looking impatient.
There you are. About time. Program's loaded and ready to go. I hope this is your lucky simulator. It's been nothing but bad luck for Kirk. Yeah, those are pretty useful in phaser training, huh? Too bad tricorders don't have a stun setting. You'd get top marks. Kidding. I'm kidding. The phasers are in the armory by the holodecks. Grab one there.
Running is the worst.
Press left to scan the area. Your tricorder will point you toward your nearest objective.
I would do that, but this is sort of something that I kind of know. It's very simple to follow, really, when you know what you're doing. So, first phaser weapon, here we go. One thing I like about this timeline is I do like the sort of the phaser effects as well. I do have a preference, and it is this.
Just go to the center of the room.
Choose your pain.
While in combat, certain actions are disabled. Once you drop out of combat, more detail about ground combat will become available. Hold Y to holster and draw your weapon.
Nice work, Cadet. A few points below Severe's personal best, but it was your first try. You'll have plenty of opportunities to knock her from her perch at the top of the list once we're underway. That I do, Cadet. First officer station is yours. That's if you want it, of course. The bilge officer spot is still open.
Again, I really don't think there's a bilge officer, but it's a very funny joke.
Thought you might say that. You've done well here, Cadet. I expect that trend to continue, onward and upward, throughout your career. Likewise. I'll see you on the bridge then. And congratulations.
Wow, look at you, First Officer! You're gonna do a great job. Congratulations. That thing the captain said about the bilge officer spot was pretty funny, though. I mean, we don't even have those anymore. Wait, do we? Anyway, First Officer. How does it feel? Seriously, Captain Schaefer didn't make that decision lightly. He believes in you, just like me. Even though you got me blown up in the Kobayashi Maru. Awkward.
So
Well,
the
we should
Kobayashi
get going
Maru
in the
is a
shuttle
sort
bay.
of training scenario
waiting for
where
the
cadets
ceremonial
face a
send-off
no-win
toast.
scenario.
Guess who gets to give that?
I'm not entirely sure whether, and they have mentioned Kirk a couple of times that he's up to 2, and he did try it 3 times and he cheated on it. Because, as we all know, Kirk didn't believe in no-win scenarios.
Now hear this. All
I think it's in one of
report to
the
shuttle bay to prepare for
original
departure.
series films they mention it, I think, but I can't remember. He mentions that he cheated on his. And obviously we did actually see what happened in the recent Star Trek films.
Just ahead. I know Vulcans don't get nervous, but the
Which
rest
is
of
where
us
the whole
do, and this is our first real assignment,
from.
so, how you gonna play it? Inspirational? Heartwarming? No. Just try not to be too logical, okay? It's a toast, not a debate. Anyway, I'll meet you at the bar. No pressure. You'll do
Oh
great.
yes, of course. So we've chosen to be a Vulcan. So there's a slight change there to, try not to be too logical, obviously.
All cadets, please board your shuttles.
So it's obviously you lead it, and as a Vulcan, you don't get much choice to show the emotion, which is quite nice. I liked that you didn't have a choice to show emotion or anything. You just
Are you ready
played
to
it
head
as
to
you
the
wanted
ship?
to play it. I do love the Discovery era shuttles. They do seem cool.
I can't believe we're finally doing this. Ooh, look
Here we
over
are.
there. That's the Glen, one of the new Crossfield-class ships. No one really knows
So
much
is the-
about her or her capabilities. Well, at Starfleet Academy, anyway. Maybe we'll work on a ship
In
like
the
that
show,
someday. For now,
The episode
our
where she
ship's
comes
here.
as Discovery,
She's a Malachowski
when
class.
Michael
Captain
gets picked
Schaefer's
up by the
provider.
Discovery, we realise
speed
that the
for her
Glen has
class,
been
definitely
destroyed. So this is the
A stout, solid,
connection there.
battle-proven design, for sure. I can't wait to see what she can do. Let's land and find out.
Here we go. Oh,
Okay, we need to check in with the deck officer first, then head to our stations. Oh man, I cannot wait to see the engine room. My engine room. Yeah! Sylvia Tilley, acting chief engineer, reporting for duty.
Welcome aboard. What's your name, Cadet? Yes, here we are. Acting First Officer. You're all set. Report to Captain Schaefer on the bridge. He's been expecting you. Use...
So now we head to the bridge, which I have to admit is a lovely interior. Of course, it's all rendered from the Shenzhou. So here we are.
Ah, there you are. Computer, note the executive officer has reported for duty in the ship's log. Welcome aboard, XO.
So XO, I believe they're taking the X from executive and the O from officer to sort of create this XO thing. Obviously, in more recent series, we know it's been number 1, much akin to Captain Picard. So it's very interesting that XO is sort of the executive officer. Very interesting.
You're right on time. All decks have reported in. We're ready to get underway. Let's start things simple by getting the old girl out of dry dock, huh? Contact dock control and get clearance to depart. After we're cleared, close the shuttle bay doors and disable the tractor moorings.
Dock control has cleared us to depart.
Acknowledged.
Shuttle bay doors are closed.
Acknowledged. Carry on. Perez, take us out. 1/4 impulse.
So this is the moment where you get to decide whether or not you can question his orders.
Duly noted, XO.
Always question.
Perez, take us out. Maximum thrusters.
Cleared from dry dock, Captain.
Acknowledged, Helm. Set a course for Vulcan. Warp 4.
Course laid in, sir.
Engage.
Incoming transmission.
Captain, I'm picking up a distress call from the SS Fortuna. Audio only.
Put them through, comms.
This is the Fortuna! Can you hear me? So, warp core is failing. We could really use some help here.
Let them know we're on our way. Helm, lay in a rendezvous course.
Altering course, sir. ETA 3 minutes.
Transporter room. Prepare to beam over survivors.
Sir, sensors can't read anything in the vicinity of the Fortuna.
Communications are out as well.
Keep trying to hail them, comms. XO, let's discuss the situation. Well, XO, you heard the distress call. What are your recommendations? Afraid not. This is the real deal. Per Starfleet regs, we're the closest ship to the Fortuna, so it's our duty to assist. Not usually, no. Good instincts. How would you proceed here?
Okay, so this is the moment where you can choose what to do. Now I think, you know, judging by the transmission, obviously you all heard it, I would say the prudent thing here is a yellow alert.
Good call. There's something about this that's not sitting right with me. Agreed. Yellow alert. Surveyor, bring the shields up. Get down to the transporter room, XO. I want you to oversee the rescue efforts from there.
So here we go.
Desmond, the Fortuna should be in range. Give me an update.
I'm getting some weird readings. I can't get a solid lock. There may be interference. Trying to compensate. I think I have it.
This is a lot different than the training scenarios.
Beaming them over now. Klingons!
Here we go. Height of the Klingon War.
Desmond? Come in! What happened? Desmond?
Hold on. We're reading disruptor fire in the transporter room, and Klingons are beaming in on multiple decks. All hands, this is the captain. Repel boarders. I repeat, repel boarders. You have the command codes to unlock an armory near your position.
It's weird. We
Arm
had the
yourself
shields up. They
any
technically
security
shouldn't have
team
been able
members
to
you
beam through
find,
the shields, but
and
we
then
must have
repel
lowered
any
them to
boarders
save
you
them,
come across.
which is annoying.
You let us worry about that. Right now, I need you doing what you can to get those Klingons off my ship. Bet you're glad you took that phaser course now, huh? Shoot straight and stay safe down there.
Over here, Exo. We need you to unlock the armory.
You have to enter the command
There's a lot of
code.
this. Repel borders in everything. Here we go.
Grab a rifle. We need to deal with the Klingons.
You need to equip your phaser rifle. To do so, press the menu button and select the captain option under the ship and crew heading.
There we go. So we now have a standard issue Federation sniper rifle.
Andre!
An item is dropped for you. Revere the item and it will be automatically added to your inventory. You can use this to quickly heal any damage you may have suffered.
Quite a shocking moment, that one.
Hey, I'm reading a hull breach near the transporter room. Oh, good. You're on the right side of the safety field. Whew.
Thanks. I think they were going to engineering. Better hurry. There's a lot of them.
Security to engineering. We are under attack.
It's always engineering in these shows that gets in Star Trek that always gets attacked first whenever there's a boarding party.
We're reading Klingon boarding parties on multiple decks, XO. Our security teams are spread thin.
So obviously, engineering is sort of the heart of the ship, where the warp core is. It's where everything's powered from. So of course, naturally, that'd be where you would attack first.
Lead the way, Exo. We've got your back.
Press the right stick to crouch. Crouching gives a defensive bonus against ranged attacks, but increases damage from melee attacks.
Here we go. Here's engineering.
Move, move, move!
Oh, am I glad to see you. You have no idea how happy I am to see you. They were looking for something in here. Can't imagine what, though. I mean, they have warp and impulse tech. What else would be in engineering? Especially since the ship's a complete mess, thanks to them. Is there a part they didn't shoot? Sorry, I could really use your help, since you're here.
It's a fair question, though. Is there a part they didn't shoot through?
As I was saying, the ship's taken a lot of damage. I'll do what I can to get
So-
the Sentinels online, but I could use some help. See anything you could do in
So
here?
you have to use your career that you're based in. So we're based in tactical,
Okay.
so
The
we
power
can now
relays
improve the
for our
ship's
weapons.
weapons.
Sometimes missions specialized to your career class are available.
Life support is optimal. Yes. Safety fields engaged. Ship-wide comms online.
Glad you're still with us. We could use a hand up here. We take.
Head back to the bridge. We'll cover this deck.
So here we go. Back up to the bridge, as always.
Sir, we've lost shields!
Prepare for.
Now she's not introduced herself yet, but that is Jula. And in this plot, she is the sister
I'm Captain
of
Schaefer.
the
And
Kufma,
you are?
who was from the first few episodes of Discovery.
Surrender now, Captain, while you're still able.
Request denied. Get off my ship. Get off my ship.
If you insist, Captain. John Drew!
I believe it's Klingon for energize or beam me up, depending on your whatever you want to have.
Secure the bridge! Repel boarders! The Klingons are gone. So is the captain. I'll try to find the Klingon ship.
Thought I was done for. Thanks.
He's holding the wrong phaser. Look at that.
Okay, thanks to you. I owe you one.
Your medical assistance was adequate and necessary. I thank you.
That was intense. Klingons. We just fought Klingons.
What happened here?
Incoming transmission from the Klingons.
Again, we all remember the holographic communications.
Do I have your attention, Starfleet?
Captain, are you all right?
Silence! Surrender your ship and all classified data within it to me. Immediately! Schaefer, order your crew to do as I say.
XO, follow my orders to the letter. Fire on my position.
Spoken like a Klingon, Captain. Now die like one.
What do we do now?
John, you too! It's a have! Mitch la percha! No!
But no, Otonje!
Mech! Short with you too! It's a teacher! Mitch la picture.
We're still here. Most of us, anyway. The captain. Look, the captain knew what was at stake. He gave the order, and you followed it. If you hadn't, we'd probably all be dead now. So, you're the captain now. We're with you. Let's make his sacrifice count.
To sit, press A while targeting the chair you wish to sit in.
So we've now taken the captain's chair, and that's the tactical officer. We now have the high-yield torpedo.
All decks have reported in. We took some casualties and sick bay is full. All systems have taken damage, but some were hit worse than others. Life support is stable. Past that, it's not exactly optimal.
Working on it, but something's jamming our long-range comms on all frequencies.
Still running under cloak. We knocked them around pretty good before they slinked off with their tail between their legs. That said, we're in rough shape ourselves.
Damage control teams are assigned. We've put out all the fires and started patching the hull breaches, but it's gonna take a while. We'll get the critical systems back online as soon as we're able, Captain.
Still reading their distress signal. I can break through the jamming at short range. Shall I hail them? Opening hailing frequencies now, Captain.
Greetings, Captain. Thank you for coming to my aid. I must apologize. I sent the distress signal under duress. I'm sure you'd do the same with a Klingon disruptor pointed at your head. Quite so, Captain.
So it was a trap after all.
Our Klingon friends took pains to make my plight look convincing, to the point of damaging my warp drive beyond function. At the risk of wearing out my welcome, would you be so kind and assist me? I'd rather not be around if the Klingons come back.
Press up to increase your ship speed. Press down to decrease your ship speed. Use the left stick to pitch downward or upward, as well as to turn left or right.
Coming to a full stop, Captain. Apologies. I'll wait for your command from now on.
Scanning in progress.
Here we go.
They need 3 or 4 warp induction coils tops. We can spare a few.
Position yourself near the ships and press A to interact with them.
Thanks. Oh, and good luck with the Klingons, my young friend. You'll need it.
Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't want to fight Klingons in a tub like that either. Speaking of Klingons...
We have a problem. Most of our plasma injectors are a wreck. See, plasma injectors are made to take a beating, but this damage goes way beyond what would...
We're not the first ship the Klingons have hit here, Captain.
So,
Scanning in progress.
we're now going to find these additional parts we
I'm
need.
picking up a few compatible parts in the wreckage. Blast off the outer casings on those units, and we can get what we need.
Press the right trigger to fire energy weapons.
Little stuff. Copy. Digging through scrap.
Ugh, she is getting on my last nerve.
As you can see at the bottom there, you can route power to whichever system you need to. I'm skipping the instruction because diverting power to engines gives us...
Okay, these injectors are a little beat up, but I can work with them. Some of these are a real top-shelf tech. Type J's with a 2-liter flow, modulating reserves, and those sweet new Commodore. Gonna need a little time to get these installed. I'd rather not breach the core after we go to warp because of a full system meltdown. And that can happen with dicey injectors. Right. I'm on it, Captain.
While engineering deals with the warp core, we're stuck here. We need critical systems back online AS. We're on it, Captain. I located several...
You must be within 10 kilometers of an enemy to attack it. Use your phaser banks to weaken shielded targets. Target's shield have failed.
More to go.
Stop! You are persistent, little cope.
Long-range comms are back, Captain. Shall I send the distress signal?
That Klingon ship took some real damage during the fight. I bet she's leaking plasma all over the place. We might be able to use that to find them. No argument here. I'd rather not get blown up by Klingons on a cadet cruise. Or, you know, ever, really. Scanning now. Oh, yes! I found it! Sending you the data now. We can trace their plasma signature right back to the source. It'll show up on the map. It's pretty far from us. We should travel at full impulse to reach it. This will temporarily take power from the other systems, but vastly improve our speed. Once we drop out of full impulse, the power will return to other systems.
Baka! Your death will be swift. Pooh.
Hold the up button to activate and deactivate full impulse.
Klingon ships, decloaking, Captain! Captain, while we have the opportunity, it might not be a bad idea to review some of the basic Starship Combat files. Wouldn't hurt to be ready when the next group of enemies attack us out here.
I'm going to show you, but I do already know. So obviously the forward phases and the rear phases have a arc of 250 degrees, which doesn't cover the entire ship. Same with the rear. Which is basically what this is saying. If, however, you put the enemy ship on the left or the right hand side, because they have an intersecting range, it becomes you can fire twins. So I have a tendency to prefer broadsiding, especially when taking out shields, especially at this level, and then try and maneuver to do the photon torpedo. If not, I just could persist with phasers because they will eventually work. And here you go. You circle the target. Trouble is, enemy ships do the same thing, so you end up doing this weird kind of kind of like circle thing where you're both circling each other. It's quite fun, which I think is something that we didn't see in the show.
It would be wise not to follow me. Cowardly, but wise.
Remember, though high-yield torpedo is powerful, it's practically useless against shielded foes.
It isn't. Ignore that. Torpedoes will damage shields.
Please don't break anything else.
Target's shields have failed.
Incoming transmission, Captain. It's a Starfleet vessel, the Sabrova.
This is Captain Thykir Shran. We've received your signal. What happened here? I see. Ever since they acquired their cloaking device, they've been getting bold, even for Klingons.
So this is Jeffrey Combs, who originally played Shran in Starship Enterprise. It's nice to see him in Starfleet.
Where is he? And did you follow his orders? I see. Unfortunate. I served with Anton on the Endeavor. He was a fine officer. We could use more like him. Very well. Schaefer didn't place trust in his officers lightly. If he chose you to be his XO, he knew you could get the job done. I'll expect the same. Our first order of business is getting your ship and crew to safety. We'll escort you to make sure you get back in one piece. I'm sure they are. And if they're foolish enough to come back looking for a fight, they'll get one.
So, the wolf now fights with his cubs, eh? Go back.
Stay focused. Hit them where they're weak. And hit them hard.
Today is the good day. Klingon back. Stop.
We were on our way to check in on another Starfleet vessel when we received your distress signal. That vessel is still not responding to hails. Considering what happened to you, I'm beginning to fear the worst. I'm going to investigate, and I want you to join me. If the Klingons are up to no good in that system, I'll need backup. I know it's asking a lot, but we're at war. Consider this a field promotion, Cadet. You have...
This feels wrong, doesn't it? I mean, the captain just got killed by a House Mokai matriarch over something she thought we had on board. Shouldn't we be chasing her instead? You're right. You're right. For all we know, this Ja'ula could be behind what happened.
So, we're now going to a descent sector space, which will be where we need to do... Oh, not quite
We've
yet.
arrived, Captain. I'm reading the Ticonderoga dead ahead. Contact with them and find out why they haven't responded to our hails.
So we'll find out what happens the rest of this in the next episode. Thank you for watching the Let's Play Starship Combat episode 1, and we'll catch you next on the next episode.